Yeah, it's definitely my spot, all right, next to that tree. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Paul and this is Buster's Boy Camping, and you join me on a very windy 30 to 40 mile an hour wind gust at the moment, Conkers and Camping Caravanning Club site. I'm here to do a wall camp practice. Now, if you haven't seen it, I'll put a card up here for you, but I was here a week ago on the 21st of January doing my first wall camp practice, and what that was about was filling this backpack you see here, 70-litre OEX rucksack, and filling it with gear that I thought that I would use on a potential wall camp. And then eventually working out what I didn't use and then filtering it down to the next practice and then the next practice. Now, unfortunately, I can't go wall camping at the moment. And that is simply because I have a bad ankle. My left ankle has Achillies Tendinopathy. It means I can't carry heavy weights like this for too long a period, and it does flare up occasionally. So unfortunately, I can't go hiking or wild camping for the foreseeable future. But once that ankle is healed, I will be out there doing wild camping for sure. So that's why I'm coming to a campsite like this, because my car is only, what, 50, 60 feet behind the camera over there. So yeah, I don't have to walk very far. I can work out what gear I'm using and what gear I'm not, and then ultimately eliminate that from my future camping trips and then eventually wild camping trips. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna get this Vango Banshee 300 Pro up. I'm not using the Nature Hike Cloud Peak 2 for this trip, and let's just hope it stands up to these blustery winds. I'll catch you in a little while. To abandon ship. Wow, made it at long last. You know, there were some instances there where I thought, it's not worth it. We're just going to abandon ship. We're going to go home. But no. The lady, when I checked in, she said, put your tent behind your car. Use your car like a windbreak. And I was like, no, it'll be fine. I was wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm where I wanted to be. But it took a little bit of perseverance, a little bit of changing around. I did initially put the tent in the position where the high end was hitting the wind first, and I did that solely because there's only one vestibule on this Vango Banshee, and that is where the camera is right now. And I did that because I wanted to cook later on, and I wanted to use the tent like a windbreaker to help me cook, stop the wind getting to the stove quite so easy. But the wind just wasn't having it. It was just relentless and really bad. And I thought, what's the point if the tent doesn't stand up anyway? So I turned it around because that end is lower. And I'm trying to think aerodynamically here. And I put that end first. And actually the tent is holding up really well. And the wind is beginning to die down now as well, which does help. But yeah, at some point there, I did think, oh, no, this isn't going to happen. But there we go. I persevered, and luckily, everything seems to be okay. I'm more than confident about tonight now. Now, I wanted to use this tent because I've not used it in a long time, and I've been using the Nature Hike Cloud Peak 2 recently, about the last 3 trips out. The last one was a wild camp practice just like this one, but I wanted a little bit of variation. I didn't want to be using the same tent every time. I didn't want to be using the same kit every time. So on this trip, some kit has stayed the same, like this pad that I've got, and some kit has changed, like my stove, and as you can probably see, my pillow behind. Now on my last trip, which I'll put a card up here for you, I did have a problem with this pad. Now this pad went down on me. I inflated it, and after about half an hour, I put my hand on it, and it was like, oh, okay, that's bad. It's gone down quite a lot. I tried it again, and again, it was going down what I figured was by quite a margin, not enough to be comfortable through the night. So I changed it to the Trekology UL80, which just by chance, I had in the car, in the boot as a spare. How and why I brought that. That's the first time I've actually brought a spare airbag pad on a trip, and I needed it. So I've got this home, and during this past week, that was on the 21st of January, it's now the 29th, I've had this in the bath and trying looking for air bubbles, seeing whether there was escape of bubbles. I've laid on it for half an hour, and it's a little bit like that old adage. You ever had that experience where you've had a faulty item and you've took it back to the shop where you purchased it, and you've gone, hey, this product doesn't work. Look, I'll turn it on, and it works. Well, that's how this is. Now, obviously, I'm not taking this back to the shop, but it's like there was a fault on this, and now I can't find it. Oh, but it's the most comfortable pad that I've got, and unfortunately, I can't afford at the moment something like a Thermarest. Get my words in. I can't afford anything like that at the moment. So this is my most comfortable pad. I've got my Trekology UL80 in the car. I've also got a cheap and cheerful, I think it's high gear sleeping bag pad, my words today, is in the car. I've got them there. So that is something that's sort of staying the same from that. Pillow-wise, before I was using a Trekology A-Love 2.0 pillow, which is fantastic if you are trying to save every ounce and space in your kit bag. Now, although this is a wild camp practice, I did actually have a little bit of spare room in my rucksack, and I thought, I could probably fit in my Quechua Foam or mousse pillow. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is the most comfortable pillow I have ever purchased. So much so, I've actually got 2, and one of them is on my bed at home right now. I love it. It's even better than my normal pillows. It's actually like that sort of construction. Now this is probably more suited if you're campsite camping, where you've got access to the car, a little bit like what I've got now, and you can get it in your bag or in your car, and you've got that room. That is, without a doubt, the most comfortable pillow I've ever had. So if you're looking out for a new camping pillow and you've got the space, or you're going for a campsite camping experience, then by all means, please look at that. It is fantastic. Now on my last trip as well, I did have another problem as well, and that was with the stove or with the gas. And I used a Jetboil Minimo. Now I think it was actually the temperature and the gas cylinder. I've tried it at home again. It's been a week of fact finding and trying to find the cause of issues, and it hasn't played up. The Jetboil Minimo has been fine, and I've got a funny feeling it was because I had the water on boil for 10 minutes for the meal, the sausage and beans, or beans and sausages. And then not soon after, I had it on boil again for about another 10 minutes for the chocolate pudding. And there was a buildup of ice on the gas canister, and I think that may have been it. I did shake it. I don't know if you should be doing that, but I did shake the gas canister with the flame on, and it did start off with a simmer and then flare up. But this time I'm going to bring something different. I'm not going to bring the Minimo. This time I've got the Jetboil Zip. And a lot of people ask me how I pack my stoves, so I'm going to show you. Now this is the Jetboil Zip. As you can see, the bottom is sealed and so is the bottom. Take the top off, And inside you can see a gas cylinder. We've got the Jetboil gas cylinder, if it'll focus. There. Next, we've got the burner inside. Now, there's no piezo igniter in here, but I'll come to that in a second. So that is next. And then in the bottom, you've got your support, which goes at the bottom of everything. That makes the whole unit more stable. Now you've got a cup at the bottom. Take that cup off. Got a bit of sponge to wipe off any excess moisture from inside later on. And then at the bottom, and if you'll focus, you've got some matches at the bottom. Because there is no piezo igniter, got some matches so I can set the gas on and away we go. Now, this gas canister is pretty much empty. However, I have got this here, which is the Coleman Extreme. Extreme. It's a C300 gas cylinder, and that will go down to temperatures like minus 27 degrees centigrade, which we won't be experiencing here. So yeah, that's what I'll be hopefully using tonight if this wind dies down a little bit more, and we will be cooking a little bit later on. So join me for that. I'm going to be laying on this for a good hour or more just to make sure that the air isn't escaping at a whatever speed. And I shall see you in a little while, because after putting that tent up like that for that time, I'm pretty worn out. Night night, folks. That sunset was a good couple of hours ago now, and yeah, thankfully the wind has died down, and so has the temperature. So I've got into bed, trying to keep warm, got my hat on, and just laying here, just keeping warm, got my layers on. Now, I was going to use my Jetboil Zip stove tonight, but my stomach is a little bit on the delicate side, and I don't really have anything of an appetite, if I'm honest. So I'm laying here, I've got my Quechua mousse or foam pillow, and that is just amazingly comfortable. I mean, this is one of my best buys for camping, if I'm honest. It doesn't pack down very small, which is a downside of it, but other than that, the comfort is just incredible, and I love it. So I'm going to lay here for a little while longer and then probably get some sleep. It's 10 o'clock at night, and I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. I am really, really tired, so yeah. But yeah, I need to get some sleep, and I will speak to you in the morning. Well, good morning. I've just woken up and we have ice on the tent. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that ice. It's cold. It's a clear sky. Sunrise is just turning up. Yeah, wow. Oh, good morning, everybody. As you've probably just seen, there's ice on the tent. I mean, I was not expecting that tonight. I need a cup of coffee after all that. I've got me little cup and water already prepared. Yeah, I told you it was a cold one. I didn't realise it was this cold though. Proper frost. Over this one, I'm going to be using the Jetboil Zip. The cheapest in the Jetboil range at present. Wow, I can't believe how cold it is. Matches for this one. This is when you don't need gloves. Oh dear. Right. This way you need about 3 pairs of hands. So there we go. That's now on the board. So I'm using my Sea to Summit X Cup again. Love this. It folds down to nothing. I mean, look at that. You wouldn't even know it was there. Unless it was bright orange. Then I'm using Kenko Cappuccino, my go-to favourite at the moment. I love that. I probably will have some breakfast as well. Stomach's a little bit better than what it was last night. We'll make up a coffee first. Let me just... That's a good way to start the day, if ever there was one. Okay, that's about done now. Sweet. There we go. Let that cool off for a couple of minutes. Wow. Do you know what? I was thinking yesterday about not bothering with this, just packing it in and just heading home because the winds were so bad. What a mistake that would have been. Being out here, okay, it's cold, but wow. Sunrise. Makes you feel so alive. I feel incredibly fortunate to do this. I am one happy bunny. There is no beating this. There is no beating this at all. I'm loving this. Absolutely. sunrise, frost. All you can hear is the birds. Gorgeous cup of coffee, cappuccino. What more could I ask? I think this trip is going to be coined by saying the lows and the highs. The lows of the winds yesterday, thinking about abandoning ship, and then the highs of this, looking out into an absolutely stunning sunrise, frost. Wow. Right, let's have a couple of minutes. Oh. The hat, by the way, I'm wearing, you may have seen this. I actually had it in my last video. And my mum saw my video and she told me off. She said, people aren't going to know what this little white spot is. So, Mum, this is for you. This is a hat that I got for Christmas from my parents, my mum and my dad. And inside is a little light, which is there. And it's got, I think it's about 3 modes of brightness. 2, 3, and off, right? Now, this is actually USB chargeable. So you take the little cap off and you can charge it right there. Focus on that. There's a USB there. And it's reasonably bright. It gets, you can see around what you need to do. It's great for in the tent when you haven't got the light above like I've got there. And all that does is a little gap in the cap, in the hat there. So this cap keeps your head nice and warm. And all it does is just slots behind, fits in, and you don't even know you've got it. Now, granted, this is not the brightest lamp there is. Obviously, it's a mixture of brightness and convenience. You don't even know it's there. It's great. And sometimes you go, oh, I need a light, I need a light. Oh, okay. And you go, bing, job done. Now, I have got another light, head torch, you may or may not have seen. And this is like my headlamps. It looks like a rally car headlamps. And I bought this initially a couple of years ago when I was taking Buster out for dog walks. And Buster's got this thing where he refuses to go where you'd necessarily want to go. He wants to go down the dark track at night. And I'm like, oh god, it's a bit spooky. So I ended up buying this, which is super, super powerful. Probably doesn't even do it justice. Yeah, and you can even see a beam of light. Now, this is great. This hat is fantastic. I absolutely love it. I will not part with it because it's great inside the tent. But if I'm doing like wild camping, I'm on a trail and I probably want to see a little bit further ahead, this probably isn't going to cut it. This is great, but look how bulky that is. I mean, that is just, yeah, mega. So I will be at some point in the future when I'm building closer to that wild camp, is looking for something which is a little bit between the two of these. Probably not quite as bright as this, but definitely not as bulky. But a little bit more convenient like this. So yeah, I'll be having a look out for that in the near future. My ankle at the moment is actually doing quite well. It is improving, I can feel it. It used to be like every day that it was painful. Now I'd say it's probably 2, maybe 3 days a week that it's really painful. So hopefully wild camping will be coming anywhere probably from the summer onwards. I was told May onwards anyway. Right folks, I've got to enjoy this cup of coffee before it becomes a ice cube. Oh, bit too late for that. Yeah. And then I'm going to get packed away. So cue that time lapse of me rushing around the tent. Before I move on to said time lapse, I would just like to ask you for a brief moment. Now, if you found this video in any way helpful or entertaining in any way, please consider liking the video below. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and clicking on that little bell icon for future release notifications. For those of you who have subscribed, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It really does mean the world to me. To see that people are subscribed to my channels and watching them and finding them helpful is just amazing. I absolutely love all this YouTube lot. It can be hard work at times, I have no doubt about that. You should see all the outtakes, but I just love it, I really do. And I say, if I've helped someone or entertained somebody or made them laugh, then even better, for the right or for the wrong reasons. Right, I'm going to do a time lapse of putting the tent away because time's ticking on, and then I will leave you with a look around the Conkers Camping and Caravanning Club site to show you a little bit around this beautiful site. There's no frost on it. Yeah, just going around, just double check. Nothing left behind. You can definitely see my footprints. Yeah, that was good camping. I enjoyed that a lot. Right, all that's left for me to do is just to say goodbye. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. And yeah, all good. Take care, folks. is it cold? How many times am I going to say cold in this video? At least the wind's died down. That was I can deal with the cold to a degree. I can deal with the cold to a degree. No, that's a good joke. Camera was focused on mug up to her face, and then my camera focused on my mug. I had to bring it all the way around. Oh dear. That's a wrap. I don't want to use and blah, blah.